Watch what Paul is saying as he talks to the Corinthians. But even if our gospel is veiled, saying hidden, it is veiled to those who are perishing. It is hidden to those who are perishing, whose minds the God, little g, of this age has blinded. The God of this age, Satan, the God of this world, has blinded, who do not believe, lest the light of the gospel of the glory of Christ, who is the image of God, should shine on them, will bring you out of darkness into the light. Will open up your eyes. You'll begin to see life in a whole different perspective when you begin to see it through the eyes of Jesus. Too many times we only deal with life from the human perspective through the five senses that God created me with. And most of what I deal with and most of what I base all my decisions on is my mind, my will, and my emotions. See, because once I begin to think about it, then I check it out to see how I feel about it. See, you can do a lot of stuff to me, but when you start hurting my feelings, I get emotionally upset. When you rub me the wrong way, I get emotionally upset. And when I get emotionally upset, then my thinking about you begins to change. I don't see you in the same light of someone I have to love anymore. I see you now as someone I need to get even with. Or I need to do something to because you've done something to me. My emotions get into the picture. And my emotions begin to affect the choice that I make. My emotions begin to affect how I think. And then my thinking dictates my actions. So we have to be what? Careful. Careful. Can't walk around in darkness. Can't walk around blinded because we need to be where? Living in the light of God. How do we get into the light? When you get into the Word, you gain insight to God's will. You gain insight to God's purpose. We may not yet be great scholars of Scripture, but we still know more about the gospel than many. And we can start with that. Like this blind man, we can tell others, once I was blind, but now I see. And that ought to be, that's it, that ought to be, I'm not going to tell you our New Year's resolution, but that ought to be what you commit your life to doing this year. That ought to be the commitment that you make to yourself and to God. That you will tell somebody, I once was blind, but now I see. And you know when you say that, you ought to be able to give them an explanation and a reason why you said it. So this morning, if there is one here that have not